Hello and good evening students and welcome to Byjus Exam Prep IAS. Let us take a look at the questions we have lined up for you for today's daily quiz. The first question is, what do you understand by the Time Dissemination Project? It is a project by UNESCO to understand the timekeeping secrets of the ancient Mayans. It is a NASA project to understand the concept of time dilation near the black holes. It is a project by ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization, and National Physics Laboratory to reduce India's dependence on Western time accuracy. It is an initiative by Greenpeace to disseminate information regarding the doomsday clock. We have taken this question because recently this project that has been undertaken by ISRO and NPL in collaboration with Department of Consumer Affairs has come into news. Now, what is this project? The project aims to generate and disseminate precise time that can be traced to the Indian Standard Time in order to support the mandatory adoption of IST by various agencies of India. Under the project, infrastructure and technology will be developed to distribute the IST Indian Standard Time from 5 locations all across the country to all the telecom providers, power grids, financial institutions, data centers, ordinary people, and so on. These 5 sites are the regional reference standard laboratories of the Department of Consumer Affairs located at Guwahati, Faridabad, Bhubaneswar, Bengaluru, and Ahmedabad. Now, once this project will be completed, it is expected to enhance the national security and reduce the error in time synchronization. Because it is imperative that all the networks and computers within the country, especially those that cater to real-time applications to the strategic sectors for national security, should be synchronized to national time standard. Accurate time, it is crucial for countries' artificial intelligence, banking system, cyber physical systems, defense system, digital governance, financial transactions, Internet of Things, power grid synchronization, strategic and non-strategic sectors for navigation purposes, telecommunication, transport, and upcoming technologies like 5G and 6G. So out of these statements, this one is your correct answer. The next question is, identify the correct statements regarding the UN Democracy Fund, UNDEF. It was established in the year 1991 after the fall of USSR or Soviet Union. India is a founding member of this fund. Now, the UNDEF, it is a fund that has been established by the UN General Secretary Kofi Annan back in the year 2005 as a United Nations General Trust Fund to support the democratization efforts all across the world. It funds the projects that empower the civil society, that promote human rights, and that encourage the participation of all the groups of a country in the democratic processes. This fund was launched, as said earlier, in the year 2005, almost at the same time that India had the nuclear deal with United States. Now, India, it is a founding member of this fund and it is one of the biggest contributors to this fund. We are the 4th biggest contributors to the fund, and since its inception in 2005, India has contributed almost $32 million to this fund. Ahead of India are US, Sweden, and Germany. So over here, this is an incorrect statement. It was established in 2005 and not 1991. India, yes, it is a founding member of this fund, and our correct answer over here will be B. The next question is, how many of the following statements are correct? India has 6 national parties as declared by the Election Commission of India. Any party recognized as a state party in 4 or more states becomes eligible to be a national party. A national party gets land from the Government of India to build its headquarters. Now, yesterday, the Election Commission of India revised the list of national parties, and there has been a reduction in the number of national parties in the country. Now, with the latest revision, we have 6 national parties in the country, that is Bharatiya Janata Party, Congress, Bahujan Samaj Party, CPI Marxist, National People's Party and Aam Aadmi Party. Now, there are certain criteria that must be fulfilled to be granted the status of a national party. The party must secure at least 6% of the total valid votes polled in at least 4 states in Lok Sabha or state assembly election. In addition, it must win at least 4 Lok Sabha seats from any state or states. If this criteria is not filled, another criteria is it must have won at least 2% of the seats in Lok Sabha from a minimum of 3 states. Or the party must be recognized as a state party in at least 4 states. Now, what are the benefits of getting recognized as a national party? They get a reserved symbol that cannot be used by any other party all across the country. They can contest elections across the country and can field candidates in any states. They also can engage up to 40 star campaigners as opposed to 20 such campaigners allotted to registered unrecognized parties. Now, the expenses of these star campaigners, they are not added to parties' overall cost of running any election campaign. Apart from that, this party also gets land allocated to it from the government to build its headquarters. Moreover, these parties need to have just one proposer to submit a nomination and are given 2 sets of electoral rolls during the roll revision. Now, the Election Commission of India regularly updates this list and includes or excludes the parties. Now, those parties which do not fulfill these criteria, they are excluded from the list, and the recent parties to be excluded here are NCP, TMC and CPI. So out of these, this is a correct statement according to the latest list released by Election Commission. This is also correct. Yes, this is one of the criteria by which a party can be declared a national party. This is also a correct statement and our correct answer is C. The next question is about El Nino Southern Oscillation. Which of the following statements are true regarding ENSO? El Nino always brings drought-like conditions in India. The Indian Meteorological Department uses the Oceanic Nino Index to track the oceanic part of ENSO. We have taken this question because there is an increased chance that this year is going to be an El Nino year. According to the US National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration's recent update, till June, neutral ENSO conditions are likely to be there. That is, there won't either be El Nino or La Nina. However, post-June, that is July to September, there is a transition to El Nino that will be favored. So, there will be an increased chance of El Nino to occur by July to September 2023. Even the Australian Bureau of Meteorology has forecasted that there is a 50% chance that an El Nino may develop in the later 2023. Now, El Nino, it is usually associated with drought-like conditions in India. It adversely impacts the monsoonal rains. However, please note that even though all drought years in India have been El Nino years, but not all El Nino years have produced drought. A very good example here is the year 1982-83. When there was a very strong El Nino intensity, but India did not experience any drought-like condition. In 2006-07, also there was a weak El Nino, but there was no drought conditions experienced throughout the country. So, to summarize, even though La Nina is always associated with good rainfall in the country, El Nino is not associated always with drought-like conditions. Now, what is Oceanic Nino Index? ONI is the primary indicator used by USNOAA for tracking the ocean part of El Nino Southern Oscillation climate pattern. It is a rolling 3-month average temperature anomaly, that is difference from average in the surface waters of the East Central Tropical Pacific near the international date line. The value of index when it goes more than 0.5, then this indicates a El Nino year. The values lower than minus zero point -5 indicate a La Nina year. So out of these statements, this is incorrect. There have been years where El Nino was strong or moderate or weak but present, but there was no drought-like condition. This is also incorrect because this is used by USNOAA and not IMD. So our correct answer is D. Now in the comments, can you tell us, before this year, what were the latest El Nino and La Nina years that India has faced? Now we come to a PYQ from the year 2012. Consider the following factors: rotation of the earth, air pressure and wind, density of ocean water, revolution of the earth. Which of the above factors influence oceanic currents? Now the surface currents in the oceans, they are driven by the global wind systems, that is fueled by the energy received from the sun. The patterns of the surface currents, they are determined by the wind direction, Coriolis force that gets generated due to rotation of the earth, and the position of landforms that interact with the currents. Apart from that, the currents may also get generated by density difference in water masses due to temperature and salinity variations via a process known as thermo-haline circulations. Thermo is temperature, haline is salinity, that help in determining the density. These currents, they move water masses through the deep ocean, taking nutrients, oxygen and heat along with them and helping in sustaining life at the depths of the ocean. Now, apart from these natural processes, certain occasional events like huge storms and underwater earthquakes can also trigger serious ocean currents that can move masses of water inland when they reach shallow water and coastlines. Apart from that, earthquakes may also trigger rapid downslope movement of water saturated sediments that can create strong currents. So out of here, this is correct, this is correct and this is also correct. The revolution of earth does not contribute or influence the oceanic currents. So our correct answer is B. Now we come to the fact of the day, which is about National Innovation Foundation. Recently, the President of India presented the 11th Biennial National Grassroots Innovation and Outstanding Traditional Knowledge Awards instituted by the National Innovation Foundation. Now the National Innovation Foundation, it was set up in the year 2000 in the month of March with the assistance of Department of Science and Technology of Government of India. It is India's national initiative to strengthen the grassroots technological innovations and outstanding traditional knowledge in order to help India become a creative and knowledge-based society by expanding policy and institutional space for these grassroots technological inventors. For this, the NIF scouts, supports and spawns various grassroots innovations developed by individuals and local communities in any technological field, and it also helps them get due recognition, respect and reward for their innovations. Right now, the NIF has a database of over 3,25,000 technological ideas, innovations and traditional knowledge practices from across the country. It has instituted 2 awards for recognition of these innovators, that is the National Biennial Grassroots Innovation Awards and the APJ Abdul Kalam Ignite Children Award functions. In collaboration with various research and development and academic institutions, agricultural and veterinary universities and other institutions, the NIF has also helped in getting several hundred grassroots technologies validated and value added. It has also set up a fabrication laboratory for development of the products and strengthening of the in-house research. It also has work in the field of intellectual property, where the NIF has filed over 1,250 patent applications, including some of them being filed in the USA on behalf of the innovators and the traditional knowledge holders. Moreover, the NIF also has a fund, that is Micro Venture Innovation Fund, with support from the SIDBI, Small Industries Development Bank of India, to provide risk capital to the innovators so that they can set up their own enterprises. Apart from that, the NIF, along with the Department of Science and Technology, has another scheme, that is INSPIRE, Innovation in Science Pursuit for Inspired Research. The INSPIRE Awards, MANAG, Million Minds Augmenting National Aspirations and Knowledge, is being executed by DST and NIF jointly to motivate students studying in classes 6 to 10th with an objective to help them innovate and develop or foster a culture of creativity. So that is all about today's daily quiz. I hope you were able to understand all the concepts discussed over here. So do not forget to tell us in the comments how many questions were you able to answer correctly. So thank you very much and have a very good day ahead.